Hi, hello, and welcome to another interesting session on electromagnetic field theory and waves. In today's session, we'll see the oblique incidence at a dielectric interface. So let's get started. So as we already know, there are two types of incidence. One is the normal incidence, second one is the oblique incidence. Okay. So when an electromagnetic wave is striking any boundary interface at an angle of 90 degrees, we call it as a normal incidence. If it is striking at any other angle other than 90 degrees, we call it as the oblique incidence. So you can see this is the interface. This is medium 1 and medium 2. So whenever the wave is striking the interface, part of the wave is reflected back in the opposite direction and part of the wave gets transmitted in the second medium. Similarly, in oblique incidence also, this is the interface between two media. This is medium 1 and this is medium 2. So this is the wave which is incident at any other angle, which is the oblique incidence. So here you can see part of the wave is reflected back in medium 1 and part of the wave is transmitted into medium 2. So you can see the same thing here. Uniform plane wave is striking obliquely on a surface or an interface. So the behavior of the reflected wave is decided by the polarization of the incident wave. So we have two conditions for oblique incidence. One is the horizontal polarization, second one is the vertical polarization. So in horizontal polarization, the electric field component is perpendicular to the plane of incidence and the magnetic field component is parallel to the plane of incidence. Whereas in vertical polarization, the magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of incidence and the electric field is parallel to the plane of incidence. So you can see the diagrams for horizontal and vertical polarization. So this is the electric field component, which is the incident wave component EI, reflected component ER, transmitted component ET. Similarly, HI is the magnetic field component for incident wave, HR is the reflected component and HT is the transmitted component. So this is the horizontal polarization. So for vertical polarization, both EI and HI get interchanged. This is the direction of HI, this is the direction of HR and this is HT, whereas this is ET, ER and EI. As you can see from the diagram, the wave is progressing along the z-axis. This is the x-axis. The EI component is at an angle at the y-axis. Okay, and this is the x-axis. So these are the two types of oblique incidence. We need to solve the oblique incidence at dielectric interface for horizontal polarization and vertical polarization. Next, oblique incidence is to be done for dielectric conductor interface for horizontal and vertical polarization. So here in today's session, we'll see the oblique incidence at dielectric boundary or interface. So this is the diagram for horizontal polarization. So the electric field component is perpendicular to the plane of incidence. So this is EI and in the other direction we need to put HI. So this is ER and HR, ET and HT. So EI is on the in the direction of y-axis, the wave is progressing along the z-axis and this is the x-axis. So here these are the two media, one is dielectric 1, the second one is the dielectric 2. A and I is the unit vector in the direction of EI. ANR is the unit field vector in the direction of ER and ANT is the unit vector in the direction of ET. So the properties of dielectric 1 are sigma 1, mu 1 and epsilon 1. Sigma 2, mu 2 and epsilon 2 are the properties of dielectric 2. So these are the properties of medium 1 and medium 2. Now first we need to solve the incident wave components. First, the electric component is to be solved. So this is the equation for the electric component. It can be written in this way. EI is equal to EI e power minus j beta 1 into ANI dot R multiplied by AY. So here this AY indicates the direction of EI as it is along the y-axis. So ANI is the unit vector along EI. So this can be written in this way: sin theta I AX plus cos theta I AZ. Now this we can see from this diagram. So if you see, this is the angle theta I, which is the angle of incidence. So opposite to this angle we have the sine component. For sine we write it as the opposite side by hypotenuse. Okay, so in the opposite direction we have the sine component. So this sine component is along AX. So we write it as sin theta I into AX. Then the adjacent side is the cos component. So cos we write it as adjacent side by the hypotenuse. So along AZ is the component cos theta I. So this is the equation how we got ANI, sin theta I AX plus cos theta I into AZ. So R is equal to XAX plus YAY plus ZAZ. So this is the vector drawn from the origin to any point in the plane. Next we need to do this ANI dot R. This is the dot product. So write the expression for ANI and this is R. Now while doing the dot product, wherever we have the similar components, then that value will be equal to 1. So here we have AX dot AX. So this value will be equal to 1. AZ dot AZ will be equal to 1. All the other components, AX dot AY will be equal to 0. AX dot AZ will be equal to 0. AZ dot AX is equal to 0. AZ dot AY equal to 0. So only two terms are left here. One is X sin theta I plus Z cos theta I. So in place of this exponential powers, we need to put this term and write. Therefore, EI is equal to EI e power minus j beta 1 x sin theta I plus z cos theta I multiplied by AY. Now at the interface, the value of z is equal to 0. So in place of this equation, in place of z, we need to put 0 and write the leftover terms. So this is EI equal to EI e power minus j beta 1 x sin theta I into AY. Next we need to solve the magnetic field components. So this is the relationship between HI and EI. HI is equal to ANI cross EI into 1 by eta 1. So eta 1 is the intrinsic impedance for medium 1. So again write the equation for ANI. This is ANI cross EI by eta 1 e power minus j beta 1 x sin theta I into AY. So here we need to find the cross product. So while doing the cross product, we have to take the cross product of AX and AY, AZ and AY. So if you take it in the cyclic order, that is X, Y and Z, we get the terms in the positive direction. If we take the reverse order, we get a negative values. So here AX cross AY is AZ, AZ cross AY is minus AX. Okay, so we get this term sin theta I AZ minus cos theta I AX into EI by eta 1 e power minus j beta 1 x sin theta I. So here also at the interface we need to substitute z is equal to 0. So in place of this z term, this will be equal to 0. So this is the left of term EI by eta 1 e power minus j beta 1 x sin theta I multiplied by minus cos theta I into AX. So electrical component of ER. ER is ER e power minus j beta 1 ANR dot R into AY. ANR is equal to sin theta R AX minus cos theta R AZ. R is the same XAX plus YAY plus ZAZ. So ANR is sin theta R into AX minus cos theta R into AZ dot XAX plus YAY plus ZAZ. So here we get a negative sign. Why? Because if you see the angle of reflection, it is going in the opposite direction, that is in the negative z axis direction. So here we get a negative term. So take the dot product. So here this is the term we get x sin theta R minus z cos theta R. Substitute in ER. Therefore ER equal to ER e power minus j beta 1 x sin theta R minus z cos theta R into AY. Again at the interface, substitute z is equal to 0. So this term will go to 0. Therefore ER is equal to ER e power minus j beta 1 into x sin theta R into AY. Next we need to do the magnetic components. HR is equal to ANR cross ER into 1 by eta 1. So this is ANR cross ER, this is ER by eta 1. So here we need to do the cross product. For cross product, the terms in the cyclic order become positive. If they are in the reverse order, we need to write negative terms. So here this is AX cross AY is AZ and AZ cross AY is minus AX, but already we have a negative sign here, so this term becomes plus. So we get sin theta r AZ plus cos theta r AX into ER by eta 1 e power minus j beta 1 x sin theta r. Again at the interface put z is equal to 0. So therefore HR is equal to ER by eta 1 e power minus j beta 1 x sin theta r into cos theta r AX. Next we need to do the transmitted components. First electric component. So ET is equal to ET e raised to minus j beta 2 ANT dot r. Here we are writing beta 2 because the transmitted component is in medium 2. Again ANT is equal to sin theta t AX plus cos theta t AZ. R is the same, XAX plus YAY plus ZAZ. Now do the dot product ANT dot R. So here we get x sin theta t plus z cos theta t. Substitute in ET. ET is equal to ET e power minus j beta 2 x sin theta t plus z cos theta t into AY. At the interface, substitute z is equal to 0. So this term will go to 0. Therefore ET is equal to ET e power minus j beta 2 x sin theta t into AY. Next we need to do the magnetic component of HT. HT is equal to ANT cross ET into 1 by eta 2 because it is in medium 2. So this is ANT cross ET by eta 2 e raised to minus j beta 2 x sin theta t into AY. So again AZ cross AY will be equal to, AX cross AY is equal to AZ and AZ cross AY will be minus AX. So we get this term here. Again at the interface z is equal to 0. So the z term will go to 0. So these are the leftover terms. HT is equal to ET by eta 2 e raised to minus j beta 2 x sin theta t into minus cos theta t into AX. Now this we had in the third unit, the boundary conditions at a dielectric interface. There we got these terms where at the dielectric interface E1 and E2 are the same, H1 and H2 are the same. E1 is the total field in the medium 1 and E2 is the field in medium 2. So in medium 1 we have the incident and the reflected components. Therefore E1 is equal to EI plus ER. In medium 2 we have only the transmitted component. Therefore E2 is equal to ET. So in place of EI, substitute this term, the incident component plus the reflected component. E2 is the transmitted component. So both are same. So equate E1 and E2. Now the wave which is transmitting from medium 1 to medium 2, it doesn't undergo a phase change. So this phase will be the same throughout. Therefore we can equate the phase terms, all the exponential terms, that is beta 1 x sin theta I is equal to beta 1 x sin theta r is equal to beta 2 x sin theta t. So if you equate the first and the second terms, you can cancel x and beta 1. So sin theta I is equal to sin theta r or theta I is equal to theta r. So this is known as Snell's law of reflection, where the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Now if you equate the second and third terms, we get the Snell's law of refraction. So sin theta t by sin theta r is equal to beta 1 by beta 2. We can equate second and third or the first and third. Here I have done the first and the third. Sin theta t by sin theta I is equal to beta 1 by beta 2. This is Snell's law of refraction. Next we need to do the reflection and transmission coefficients. For this we need to start with the magnetic components. H1 is equal to H2. H1 is the total field in medium 1, which is equal to Hi plus Hr. In medium 2 we have Ht. So this is Hi plus this is Hr equal to Ht. Here also exponential terms are equal, so we can just neglect these exponential terms and write the remaining terms. So we have Ei by eta 1 into minus cos theta I Ax plus Er by eta 1 into cos theta R Ax is equal to Et by eta 2 into minus cos theta T into Ax. We can use the substitution here. Angle of incidence and angle of reflection are the same. So in place of theta R we can substitute theta I. So we get 1 by eta 1 Ei minus Er into cos theta I is equal to Et by eta 2 into cos theta T. The other equation is Ei plus Er is equal to Et. Now if you solve both of these two equations, eliminate Er, we get the equation for the transmission coefficient tau, which is equal to Et by Ei. Therefore the transmission coefficient is equal to Et by Ei is equal to 2 eta 2 cos theta I by eta 1 cos theta T plus eta 2 cos theta I. To do the reflection coefficient, we need to eliminate Et from the equations 1 and 2. So eliminate Et, and here this term will be cancelled. So this is the equation we get Ei eta 2 cos theta I by eta 1 cos theta T minus 1 minus Er eta 2 cos theta I by eta 1 cos theta T plus 1 is equal to 0. So you can cancel the denominator terms here. Therefore the reflection coefficient is equal to Er by Ei. So take Ei this side and this whole term goes this side. Therefore this is the equation for reflection coefficient: eta 2 cos theta I minus eta 1 cos theta T by eta 2 cos theta I plus eta 1 cos theta T. So these are the incident reflected components of electric field and magnetic field and the transmission and reflection coefficients for oblique incidence at a dielectric interface. I hope I am clear. Thank you.